following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games.
Hello and welcome, football fans. You're joining us in progress. For those of you that were finishing up watching the London-Paris game, we welcome you to Horizon Dome on the Strip in Las Vegas, where we're getting ready to have the kickoff of today's game between the Chicago Fire and the Las Vegas Outlaws. This will be the game to determine who plays St. Louis next week in the Western Conference Championship. Chicago, the surprise team, the 6th seed. They upset Mexico City last week in the wild card game. Las Vegas, number 1 seed in the West. And that was the national anthem. We stopped talking during the national anthem, but anyway, Las Vegas number 1 seed in the West with the 12-1-1 record, taking on the Chicago Fire, who made it in as the 6th seed. We head down to the coin toss. Ron Torbert is talking to the captains. Chicago's won the toss, but they have deferred to the second half, so we're going to get to see the Las Vegas offense underway first. So again, those of you just joining us from the Paris-London game, running right into this game. So here we go with the kickoff. Dicker to kick off to Gibson. And that'll go through the end zone for a touchback. And we'll take a look at the starting lineups for the Las Vegas Outlaws offense. Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Offensive Player of the Year nominee, won it last year. Alvin Kamara gets the start at running back. Jackson Smith-Jigba, Jacoby Myers, Elijah Moore are the wide receivers. Reggie Gilliam is at tight end. Jason Kelsey at center. Trey Smith, Alex Kappa are the guards. Terrence Steele, Kevin Beecham are the tackles. Las Vegas in their home black uniforms, black helmets, black jerseys, black pants, with the white numerals and the red trim. They're going to be moving right to left across your screen. And now it's time to take a look at the Chicago defense. Sam Hubbard, Christian Barmore, the defensive ends. Ode Zigzua and Dexter Sr. are the defensive tackles. Brooks and Basham are the linebackers. Carter and Johnson are the cornerbacks. Casey and Jenkins are the safeties. Janoris Jenkins will be the nickelback. 2nd and 10, no gain on the run for Kamara. And the pass is complete to Smith-Jigba. Gain of 7, and it'll bring up 3rd and 3. Third and 3 from the Las Vegas 32. Operating from the shotgun. Pass complete to Smith-Jigba. Is it close enough for the first down? Only a pickup of 2, 4th and 1, and that'll bring out the punting unit. Fox set to punt. Pickens back deep to receive for Chicago. "51-yard punt, a return of 5 yards. And with 12:54 to go here in the first quarter, Chicago will get the ball to start. Let's take a look at that Chicago offense. Baker Mayfield will get the start at quarterback. David Montgomery is the running back. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Jerry Jeudy, George Pickens are the wide receivers. Durham Smythe is the tight end. Lucas Patrick will be at center. Zeitler, Jackson are the guards. Zorsdal and Moten are the tackles. Chicago in their all-white away uniforms, white jerseys, white pants, red helmets, red numerals, black trim moving left to right across your screen. Mayfield working out of the pistol. Going to hand it off to Montgomery. Inside run. Gets near the 24, finally brought down by Walker. Gain of 4. And let's take a look at that Vegas defense. 3rd overall in the league, Jermaine Johnson, Myles Garrett. Garrett in the running for Defensive Player of the Year are the defensive ends. Villa and Dermont Jones are the defensive tackles. Gary and Walker, who just made the tackle, are the linebackers. Taylor, McDuffie are the cornerbacks. Joseph and Love are the safeties. Kohu is the nickelback. 2nd and 6, just underway here at the Horizon Dome in Las Vegas. Mayfield looking for Pickens, but in and out of the hands of the wide receiver. Incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 6. Again, we just picked up the game at the start of kickoff. Our contest between Paris and London ran a little late, so that's why we jumped into this game a little bit quickly. We are using the 2025 version, so the graphics look a little bit different. Get to explore those as we move along. Four wide receiver set, empty backfield for Chicago. Man in motion near side. Mayfield with time to throw. Looking deep for Jeudy, but knocked away by Taylor at the last minute. So both teams going 3 and out in their opening possession. And that'll bring up Jake Camarda to punt. Gibson will be back deep for Vegas to return. Gets the punt away. Gibson will call for a fair catch near the Vegas 28. 12:03 to go. No score between the Outlaws and the Fire. Each have had a possession. Outlaws will start their second possession at their own 29.
Man in motion. Hurts with the handoff to Camara. Hit and stopped by Barmore at the 32. A gain of 3. Third and 7 from the 32. Hurts from the pistol. Man in motion. Hurts sets to throw. Short hitch to Moore. Tackled by Jenkins. A gain of 5.
And another 3 and out for the Outlaws. And we'll see Fox coming in to punt again. Pickens back deep to return.
Fox back in punt formation. Return of 2. Punt of 45.
.10:32 to go here in the first quarter. No score so far between the Chicago Fire and the Las Vegas Outlaws. Winner of this game will be playing the St. Louis Stars. If the Fire win, they'll be traveling to St. Louis. If the Outlaws win, the Stars will come here. Chicago will start their second possession at their own 20.
Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield takes a deep drop. Medium fly to Pickens. Koha tackles him. A gain of 17.
And it's the first down by either team as we watch the replay here. Montgomery helping out blocking in the middle against that number 3 ranked defense.
First and 10 from the 37. Trips left. Mayfield from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Screen. Love brings him down at the 46. 9-yard gain. Trips left. Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield drops back to pass. He dumps it to St. Brown.
Penalty flag.
Penalty on the play.
Holding offense. Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
And first penalty of the day is against Chicago. Be holding on Jackson. Now move the Fire back to their own 36. Ron Torbert is our referee tonight. Clock stops with 9 minutes to go here in quarter number 1.
Trips left. Mayfield from the pistol. Man in motion. Mayfield with a quick drop. Short crossing pattern to Schutte. Taylor with the tackle. A gain of 7.
So it brings up a third and manageable 4 yards near midfield for the Chicago Fire.
Third and 4 from the 43. Mayfield from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Medium cross to Pickens. Koha with the tackle. 12-yard gain.
And Pickens thus far, 2 huge catches for Chicago. And they're the first team to get across the 50-yard line. They're at the Vegas 45.
Pistol formation. Mayfield with 3-step drop. Pass in the flat to Montgomery.
Mayfield 15 of 25 last week, 137 yards and a touchdown in that 13-12 upset at Mexico City.
Second and 10 from the 45. Mayfield from the pistol. Man in motion. Mayfield drops back to pass. Medium cross to Pickens.
So that'll bring up third and 10. Chicago needs to get to the Vegas 35. Halfway through the first quarter, no score between Chicago and Vegas.
Third and 10. Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Medium hitch to Mingo. Tackled by Smith. A gain of 8.
So not enough for the first down, and we're going to see Cameron Dicker come out. He was 2 for 2 last week, 34 of 37 on the season.
55-yard attempt for Dicker. This will give them the lead. Good snap from center. Patrick with the snap. He made it. Chicago 3, Las Vegas 0.
So Chicago strikes first, courtesy of the Cameron Dicker 55-yard field goal. 8-play, 43-yard, 3-minute, 39-minute drive, and Chicago has the early lead. You are watching the WFL exclusively on the Replay Sports channel. The WFL utilizes real NFL players and the advanced simulation capabilities of DK Sports Action PC Football. The WFL strives to create a thrilling, strategic, and statistically rich football environment that balances realism with innovation. Dicker preparing to kick off. This is going to be deep, out of play for a touchback. Vegas down 3-0. They'll get the ball to start this drive at their own 25. 6:47 left to go in quarter number 1. Outlaws are the defending league champions. They won the Pantheon Bowl last year. Looking to do something that no team has done since 1990 in this league, and that's win back-to-back league titles.
Motion right. Hurts gives to camera. Tackled by Jenkins at the 29. A gain of 4.
We're going to see Vegas rely on the run. They have the league's best rushing offense. Camera has been carrying the load a lot already, but we could see Jonathan Taylor. He is back from an injury that kept him out most of the second half of the season.
Hurts from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Hurts throws underneath to Moore. Tackled by Jenkins. A gain of 6. First down. Hurts from the pistol. He fades deep. Long into Myers. Return of 5 yards.
Pass is intercepted by Janoris Jenkins. And turnover by the Outlaws as we watch the replay there. Miscommunication there between the quarterback and wide receiver. Receiver was running it in. Hurts was throwing it toward the sideline. So huge turn of events here as Chicago will get the ball on the midfield logo to start their next possession. 5:15 to go. Chicago leads at 3-0.
First and 10. Mayfield calling signals. Montgomery with the handoff. Pushed out by Pace at the 47. A gain of 3. Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Dropped by Garrett. Loss of 4.
Myles Garrett led the league in sacks with 13 during the regular season. He is a Defensive Player of the Year nominee. Surprisingly, he's never won that award, having been nominated one other time. Has an opportunity to win that. The Gridiron Awards will take place the night before the Pantheon Bowl, exclusively here on the Replay Sports Channel. 3rd and 11 coming up for the Fire. They need to reach the Las Vegas 40 to keep this drive alive.
Third and 11 from the 49. Mayfield from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Medium crossing pass.
And Mayfield hit as he was throwing. Myles Garrett in the backfield. Again, Colby Sorsdahl. He is going to have himself an important afternoon protecting the blind side of his quarterback, Baker Mayfield. So it's 4th and 11, and Jake Camard out to punt. Going to try to pin Vegas deep in their own end of the field.
Camarda back in punt formation. Return of 15. 43-yard punt. Hurts from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Screen to camera. Jenkins with the stop at the 29. A gain of 6. Second and 4. Hurts from the pistol. Man in motion. Hurts with a short drop. Short hitch. KZ with the tackle. First down. A gain of 7. Camera with the ball now. Dropped by Davis at the 47. First down. Pickup of 11. Hurts from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Short out.
Penalty
First down by
flag.
Jenkins. A gain of 5. Penalty on the play.
Offsides. Defense. Number 97. 5-yard penalty.
So head coach Todd Bowles with a quick conference with referee Ron Torbert. They're going to accept the penalty. It'll make it 1st and 5 at the Chicago 48. Head coach Todd Bowles, 3rd straight postseason appearance. In as many years he's been head coach, he was a former defensive coordinator under previous head coach Bruce Arians.
Hurts calls out the signals. Hurts hands to camera. Nailed by Hubbard at the 44. A gain of 4.
Bowles matching wits against John Harbaugh. Harbaugh in his first year at the helm of the Fire. He was previously head coach of the Washington Federals. 12-7 in postseason games. Won one Pantheon Bowl championship previously with the Federals. Under 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Vegas driving into Chicago territory.
Second and 1 from the 44. Trips right. Hurts with a short drop. Pass in the flat to Myers. Las Vegas down 3. 3rd and 1. 0:46 in the first. Motion. Hurts running. Tackled by Barmore at the 41. First down. Pickup of 3. Gilliam was injured on the play. but he'll remain in the game.
Las Vegas, probably one of the better teams at running this type of play. Jason Kelsey, the center, cleared a pathway there for the quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
First and 10 from the 41. Hurts from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Short out to Goodard. KZ gets the tackle. Pickup of 6.
And that'll be the last play of the first quarter. The Chicago Fire lead at 3-0. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back for the second quarter. We're watching the Western Conference Divisional playoff between Chicago and Las Vegas here on the Replay Sports Channel.
Some beers are just beers. But Iron Ridge Lager, it's a legend in a bottle. Born in the mountains, brewed for those who crave adventure. Whether you're scaling peaks, chasing sunsets, or just unwinding after a hard day's work, Iron Ridge Lager is your perfect companion. Smooth, crisp, refreshing, with a bold, full-bodied flavor that says, you've earned this. Not just any beer, your beer. Iron Ridge Lager. Taste the adventure.
We are through quarter number 1, and the Chicago Fire with a 3-0 lead over the defending champs, the Las Vegas Outlaws. Hi again, everybody. Glenn Walker joining you from the Replay Sports Channel studios as we take a look overhead at the beautiful Horizon Power Dome in Las Vegas and get you back out to the game. Winner of tonight's game will play St. Louis next week for the Western Conference Championship. Make sure to stick with us at halftime as we recap earlier action today and get you set up for Conference Championship Sunday next week.
Pistol formation. Hurts at the line. Current drive, 8 plays, 42 yards. 3:42 off the clock. Hurts fades back to pass. He throws to Myers. Angled out by Johnson. First down. A gain of 7. High formation. Hurts hands to Taylor. KZ with the tackle at the 24. A gain of 4.
And first carry of the game for Jonathan Taylor. He's back from injury, kept him out of several games in the second half of the regular season.
Outlaws down 3. Man in motion. The handoff to Taylor. Davis on the stop at the 16. First down. A gain of 8.
Taylor, the Outlaws' leading rusher, 130 carries, 509 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season. First and 10 Vegas. They're inside the red zone. Vegas is 8th in the league in red zone offense, successful 85.7% of the time.
First and 10 from the 16. Hurts from the pistol. Current drive, 11 plays, 61 yards. They've used 5:47 on the clock. Hurts is back to pass. He throws underneath to Myers. Hurts from the pistol. Motion right. Hurts barks out the signals. 12 play 61-yard drive. They've used 5:56 on the clock. Hurts sets up in the pocket. Hurts will run. With the lane. The
Touchdown.
block. Touchdown Outlaws.
Odigizua had him, and then Hurts somehow or another wrestled free from him and then takes off for the touchdown. There goes that man again. We've seen that before.
After. Good. Las Vegas 7, Chicago 3. Here's the kick from Fox. A 15-yard return. Pitch right to Montgomery. A gain of 5. Chicago trailing by 4. Mayfield in a pistol formation. He fades back to pass. Slant to Judy. Chicago breaks the huddle. 3rd and 5 from the 20. Mayfield from the pistol. Man in motion. Mayfield drops back to pass. Medium slant to St. Brown. But St. Brown hung on. A gain of 10.
Great job there by Amon-Ra St. Brown as we watch the replay there. He was the man in motion. McDuffie laying the wood there, but St. Brown is able to hold on to the ball, and Chicago gets the first down. 11.5 minutes to go. They trail by 4.
First and 10 from the 30. Mayfield from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Slant to Judy. 2nd and 10. Trips left. Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Screen to Montgomery. Tackled by Taylor at the 33. A gain of 3 on the play. Third and 7 at the 33. Pistol formation. Mayfield calls the signals. Takes a short drop. Short button hook to Mingo. Smith spins him down. A gain of 6.
And Chicago's going to go for it here.
Fourth and 1. Motion. Montgomery takes the handoff. Whipped down by Phillips at the 40. A gain of 1 on the play. First down.
I didn't think he had it there for a moment, but Las Vegas coach Todd Bowles is not going to challenge that. 9:19 left to go here in the second quarter. Chicago gets a fresh set of downs.
First and 10 from the 40. Hand off to Montgomery. Tackled by Davis at the 50. 10 yards. Close to the first down marker. Here come the sticks.
And the officials are taking their time there to see if Montgomery got the first down or not. And he's just short.
Second and inches at the 50. Man in motion. Joseph up in the box. Mayfield barks out the signals. 8-play 59-yard drive. 4:31 off the clock. Mayfield gives to Montgomery. Tackled by Davis at the 49. First down. A gain of 1.
And the ball will be placed at the Las Vegas 49. We're nearing the halfway point of the second quarter. Chicago trailing by 4.
Mayfield in a pistol formation. Current drive, 9 plays, 60 yards. 5:14 off the clock. Mayfield with a short drop. Short cross. Tackled by Joseph. A gain of 8. Mayfield in a pistol formation. Joseph in run support. Current drive, 10 plays, 68 yards. 5:52 off the clock. Mayfield fades back to pass. Back shoulder throw to St. Brown. Spun down by McDuffie. A gain of 15. Injury on the play. Patrick from Chicago. But he'll remain in the game.
Great catch there by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Good timing effort there by Baker Mayfield. The center, Patrick, got his foot stepped on. That does not feel great, but he seems to be fine. He's testing it there out on the field. He's fine. 6.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Chicago on the move inside Vegas territory.
Mayfield from the pistol. Current drive, 11 plays, 83 yards. 6:34 off the clock. Mayfield fades back to pass. Medium into Judy.
Judy's looking to the official saying Taylor came in a little bit early, but there's no flag given there. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Pistol formation. Mayfield at the line. He sets to throw.
Fumble.
Fumble. Picked up by Mayfield. Chicago keeps possession. At the 28. Loss of 2 on the play.
Vegas fans thought there for a second that they had the ball. They got the ball, but loss of 2 brings up 3rd and 12. 5.5 minutes to go until halftime. And Vegas is going to call a timeout. Defense seemed a little confused there. That's their first timeout of the game.
Chicago trailing by 4. 3rd and 12. 5:37 in the second. Mayfield from the pistol. Man in motion. Mayfield back to pass. Medium outside pass to St. Brown. Shoved out by McDuffie. 8 yards. That brings up a 4th down.
Cameron Dicker on to kick the field goal attempt to pull Chicago within 1.
38-yard try for Dicker. Clean snap from Patrick. Patrick with the snap. It's good. Las Vegas 7, Chicago 6.
While we have a quick timeout, just wanted to remind you about the official WFL blog post around the WFL. It's your weekly dose of WFL action. We've got weekly reviews, weekly previews, and all the news going on in the world of the WFL. Make sure to check out the Substack account for this group. The description's here on the screen. It'll also be listed in the show description. And hoping to have some important news for you heading into conference championship about the league and moving forward. So keep an eye on that. So a lot of ways you can follow the league. Of course, here on the Replay Sports channel, hit like and subscribe to not only follow the WFL, but also our other replay projects. We have a 1968 MLB replay going on. Also a 1979 NBA replay that's going on as well. So as we said, we're using the new version, the 2025 version of Action PC Football. One of the new features, as you just noticed, is the area that a team needs to get to kick a field goal, to be within the kicker's range. So that is superimposed on the field. So that's one of the new uh, add-ons. If you're interested, I believe the game is still, they're running a special on the game through the end of this weekend, so definitely check that out. 2 timeouts left, 4:55 to go until halftime. Outlaws lead by 1.
First and 10 at the 25. Hurts gives to Taylor. Armour with the stop at the 24. Loss of 1. Second and 11. Hurts from the pistol. Hurts fades back to pass. Hurts is off and running. Armour with the tackle at the 26. A gain of 2.
And that'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Outlaws.
Third and 9. Hurts in a pistol formation. He fades back to pass. Medium crossing pattern to Smith and Jigba. Tripped up by Carter too. A gain of 6. That brings up a 4th down.
So another 3 and out for Vegas. Chicago's defense coming into this game ranked 15th in the league. Fox back to punt.
Fox back in punt formation. Four-yard return. 42-yard punt.
2:42 to go in the first half. Chicago trailing by 1. They'll get started at their own 30. They have the 2-minute warning and all 3 other timeouts remaining.
Chicago down 1. Mayfield from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Medium outside pass to Pickens.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 4. Automatic. First down.
First called penalty on the day against Las Vegas. That'll move the ball to the Chicago 42. Clock stops at 2:37.
Chicago trailing by 1. Trips left. Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Medium cross to Pickens. Tackled by Koha. First down. A gain of 14.
And they're going to go hurry up offense here, try to get another play in before the 2-minute warning.
First and 10 from the 44. Trips left. Hurry up offense. No huddle offense. Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield fades back to pass. False.
Oh.
Fumble.
Uh-oh.
Touchdown.
He's going to run it back. Big play there for the Vegas defense. Mayfield hit as he was running with the ball. Love does the peanut punch, knocks the ball off. Gary scoops it up and runs it all the way back to the house for the touchdown.
Gay will try the point after. Good. Las Vegas 14, Chicago 6.
So a 59-yard fumble recovery touchdown by Gary expands Las Vegas' lead to 14-6, courtesy of the fumble by Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Medium cross to Judy.
So we're at the 2-minute warning. Make sure to stick around at halftime. Of course, we'll do a recap of the first half. We'll also talk about our game from earlier today, Paris at London, and kind of get a sense of how Conference Championship Sunday is going to look like. All coming up at halftime. Chicago will get the ball to start the second half.
10 at the 25. Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield calling the signals. Sets to throw. Throws to St. Brown's back shoulder. McDuffie pushed him out. A gain of 8.
3rd and 2. Clock stopped with 1:53 left.
Third and 2 from the 33. Mayfield from the pistol. Back to pass. Mayfield throws underneath to Judy. Taylor brings him down. A gain of 2. Close to the first down marker. Here come the sticks. It's just short.
And Chicago's going to call a timeout. They want to talk this over. They trail by 8 here.
Fourth and inches from the 35. Motion. The give to Montgomery. Johnson brings him down at the 36. First down. Pickup of 1. Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Phillips sacks him. Loss of 7.
And Chicago will use their second timeout here. And Vegas is only rushing 3. Now stop the clock with 1:18. Chicago has 1 timeout left. 2nd and 17 coming up.
Pistol formation. Mayfield with a quick drop. Short out to Mingo. Angled out by Smith. A gain of 7.
Defensive coordinator for Las Vegas is Aaron Glenn. Of course, he has been the subject of a lot of vacant coaching positions, of course, which will be dealt with once the Vegas run is over. Let's see what the defensive coordinator is going to have dialed up here on 3rd and 10.
Third and 10 from the 36. Mayfield in a pistol formation. Mayfield calls out the signals. He fades back to pass. Medium slant to Pickens. Koha with the stop. A gain of 17.
Leaping catch there by Pickens. Pickup of 17. Chicago has to go no huddle here.
Chicago in a hurry up. Chicago going without a huddle. Pistol formation. Mayfield is back to pass. Mayfield dumps it to Mingo. Tripped up by Smith. No gain.
And he didn't get out of bounds. The clock is still running.
Chicago in a hurry up. No huddle offense. Mayfield from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Medium button hook to St. Brown.
So bring up 3rd and 10. Clock stops with 33 seconds left.
Third and 10 from the 47. Mayfield from the pistol. Motion. Mayfield at the line. He fades back to pass. Medium hitch to St. Brown. Tackled by McDuffie. A gain of 10. Near the first down. They'll need to measure it. They made it.
And Mayfield spikes the ball to kill the clock. 18 seconds left. Probably take a shot downfield. And then they are within Dicker's field goal range. Try to get closer to the Outlaws in the score box before halftime.
Second and 10. Mayfield from the pistol. Man in motion. Mayfield fades back to pass.
All day
Long
to throw.
cross.
And so they will go to Cameron Dicker for the field goal attempt and try to pull within 5 before halftime.
Dicker will try from 55 yards. No easy kick here. The snap from Patrick. No good.
Oh. So Hurts will down it here, and that's going to be the end of the first half.
Las Vegas leads by 8. Hurts takes a knee. Hurts running.
So after a somewhat tough start, Las Vegas heads to the locker room at halftime with a 14-6 lead. Of course, some of that momentum provided by Gary with his 59-yard fumble return recovery touchdown. We'll take a quick timeout and we'll come back, talk to you about the rest of the first half, look at the earlier game from today, and set you up for Conference Championship Sunday. You're watching the Replay Sports Channel exclusive coverage of WFL 24.
In a world where every day is a battle, your face is your armor, but even armor needs care. Introducing Edge Force, the ultimate shaving experience crafted for men who conquer life. With its triple action formula, Edge Force soothes, hydrates, and sharpens your edge. No nicks, no irritation, just results. Feel the difference, see the confidence, be unstoppable. Edge Force. Take on the day one shave at a time. Sharper, stronger, you.
We've reached halftime in the last divisional round of the 2024 WFL playoffs, and it's the Las Vegas Outlaws, the defending league champions, with a 14-6 halftime lead. Hi again, everybody. Glenn Walker coming to you from the Replay Sports Channel studios as we take a quick look at those halftime highlights. It was Chicago who got things started going first. A little bit past the halfway point of the first quarter, Cameron Dicker with a 55-yard field goal, putting the Fire up 3-0. And then early second quarter, Jalen Hurts, Offensive Player of the Year nominee, second year in a row, takes matters into his own hands and runs 16 yards for the touchdown, puts Vegas ahead 7-3. Dicker would add a second field goal late in the first half, 38-yard field goal, pull within one of Vegas, and then probably the biggest play of the game so far, a hit on Chicago quarterback Baker Mayfield. Gary scoops up the ball and runs it back 59 yards for the touchdown, and that's where things stand right now. So both teams have turned the ball over once. Time of possession, slight advantage to Chicago, 16 minutes 26 seconds to 13 minutes 34 seconds for Vegas. And Chicago also has the edge in total yards, 175 to 105. Compare some of the players. Baker Mayfield, 18 of 30, 161 yards, and has been sacked 3 times. So definitely something, a point of emphasis I'm sure John Harbaugh and his coaching staff will want to address at halftime with the Chicago Fire. Jalen Hurts, 9 completions, 13 attempts, 52 yards, did throw the 1 interception back in the late first quarter. Montgomery, leading rusher for Chicago, 7 carries, 25 yards. Alvin Kamara, 5 carries, 22 yards for the Vegas Outlaws. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches for 51 yards for Chicago. And Smith-Jigba, 3 catches for 15 yards there. So as we mentioned earlier in the day, we did have Paris at London, the London Knights, for the first time in 6 attempts, get to advance past a divisional round, led by the running of Christian McCaffrey, 27 carries, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns. The London Knights will be traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Bandits. So here's how things look as of the moment. So the Eastern Conference Championship is all set. The early game next Sunday will be the London Knights at the Tampa Bay Bandits. Tampa Bay looking to go back to their second straight Pantheon Bowl League Championship game. And the Western Conference Championship, we know St. Louis upset Memphis yesterday. They await the winner of the game we're watching now. If Chicago were to win this game, Chicago would travel to St. Louis because Chicago is the 6th seed, St. Louis is the 4th seed. If Las Vegas wins, then St. Louis will travel here to the Horizon Power Dome in a rematch of last year's Western Conference Championship game. And of course, both of these games exclusively here on the Replay Sports channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Both teams have finished their halftime talks, and they have 30 minutes, maybe a little more, we'll see, to decide who will get to play St. Louis in the Western Conference Championship. So let's head on back to the field, and remember to stick around after the game. We'll announce our Apex Striker GT player of the game and do a quick recap for you. So again, you're watching exclusive coverage of Chicago at Las Vegas here on the Replay Sports channel. Thank you for joining us, and let's get back out to the game.
Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield barks out the signals. Takes a quick drop. Short hitch to Smythe. Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield calls the signals. Takes a deep drop. Screen. Tackled by Davis at the 41. First down. A gain of 16. Mayfield gives to Montgomery. Has an opening. Tackled by Joseph at the 42. A gain of 17.
So Montgomery on the night, 8 carries, 42 yards as we watch the replay. Montgomery leading rusher for Chicago this season, 153 carries, 763 yards, 13 touchdowns.
Chicago breaks the huddle. Takes a 5-step drop. Blindsided by Johnson. 9-yard loss.
4th sack of the day given up by that Chicago offensive line. This time Johnson just blows by the right tackle. And that'll move Chicago back to their 49, 2nd and 19 coming up.
Mayfield from the pistol. Drops back to pass. John Harbaugh is ticked off. Loss of 10.
To say the least, my goodness, back-to-back sacks. Jones just straight up the middle there. 3rd and 29. I don't know of a lot of plays in the playbook that cover 3rd and 29.
And 29 at the 39. Pistol formation. Mayfield fades back to pass. Short pass in the flat to Pickens. Koha gets the stop at the 46. A gain of 7.
And Chicago will be forced to punt on the 3rd quarter's opening possession. Dicker back to punt. Gibson back deep to receive.
Deep in punt formation. Gibson standing inside his own 10. It's out at the 23. Punt of 31 yards.
Not a great punt by Camarda. Vegas will get started at their own 23, 11:02 to go here, third quarter.
Hurts from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Medium hitch.
Penalty flag.
Tackled by Carter 2. 9 yards. Hurts is now 10 of 14 for 61 yards. Penalty flag.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty.
Pistol formation. Hurts fades back to pass. Screen. Near the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 10. Hurts from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Short out. Myers is brought down by Johnson. 6 yards. Hurts is now 11 of 15 for 68 yards.
So it brings up 3rd and 4. Vegas just 1 of 4 so far tonight on 3rd down.
Third and 4 from the 29. Hurts from the pistol. Hurts barks out the signals. Drops back to pass. Short cross to Moore. Jenkins tackles him. First down. A gain of 6. Hurts is now 12 of 16 for 74 yards. First and 10 from the 35. Hurts from the pistol. Hurts is back to pass. Hubbard brings him down. Loss of 10.
And Chicago gets their first sack of the quarterback tonight. Watch 94 get the spin move on the right tackle and then bringing Hurts down. It'll be 2nd and 20 coming up.
Hurts from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Short cross to Smith and Jigba. Third and 20 from the 25. Hurts from the pistol. Hurts fades back to pass. Hurts will run.
Oh, it's fumbled.
Fumble. Chicago ball.
So the hit by Carter, and Brooks is the one who recovers it. As we watch the replay there, yeah, pops it out. And Chicago has the ball with 7:58 to go at the Vegas 33.
First and 10 from the 33. Pistol formation. Mayfield sets to throw. Short cross to Judy. Tackled by Taylor. 7-yard gain. I formation. Mayfield gives to Gibbs. Tackled by Anudai Kuzoma at the 23. A gain of 3. Close to the first down marker. Here come the sticks. It's just short.
And Coach Harbaugh is going to use his challenge flag. 7 out of 11 on use of the challenge this year.
Field stands. A timeout will be charged.
And they'll lose that challenge there. It'll bring up 3rd and inches.
Chicago down 8. 3rd and inches. From the motion. Mayfield gives to Montgomery. Tackled by Gary at the 18. First down. A gain of 5.
Chicago inside the red zone. They rank 2nd in red zone offense this season. Successful 91.4% of the time.
Mayfield in a pistol formation. Mayfield calls the signals. Fades back to pass. Short hitch. Second and 10 at the 18. Mayfield from the pistol. Draw to Montgomery. Jones brings him down at the 11. A gain of 7.
Bring up 3rd and 3. Chicago 5 of 12 on 3rd down so far tonight.
Third and 3 from the 11. Trips left. Pistol formation. Mayfield sets to throw. Short cross to St. Brown.
Penalty flag.
Penalty on the play.
Offsides. Defense.
Automatic
11,
first down.
5-yard penalty.
Fresh set of downs for Chicago. Ball at the Las Vegas 6. 5.5 minutes to go in a fast-moving 3rd quarter.
Chicago trailing by 8. Man in motion. The handoff to Montgomery. Tackled by Davis at the 1. A gain of 5.
Montgomery 11 carries for 59 yards. Ball at the 1. 2nd and goal.
Chicago trailing by 8. I formation. Motion. Stack line. Hand off to Montgomery. Brought down by Love at the 1. No gain.
And Coach Harbaugh will use his challenge flag, claiming that the ball crossed the goal line.
Upon further review, the ball crossed the plane of the goal line. Touchdown. No timeout.
Good use of the replay challenge there by Coach Harbaugh. And trailing by 2, Chicago will go for 2 here. Try to make this a tie ball game.
Las Vegas 14, Chicago 12.
So the try for 2 is unsuccessful. 4:40 left to go in the third quarter. But Chicago pulls to within 2 points of the Outlaws, taking advantage of the fumble.
Here's the kick from Camarda. Touchback. Hand off to Camera. Weaver pulls him down at the 25. He got back to the line.
Kamara just 5 carries, 28 yards on the evening.
Las Vegas ahead by 2. Man in motion. Hurts calling signals. Taylor with the handoff. Weaver on the stop at the 30. A gain of 5. 3rd and 5 upcoming for Las Vegas. Las Vegas up 2. 3rd and 5 at the 30. Pistol formation. Smith and Jigba is doubled at the line. Hurts sets to throw. Short slant.
Oh!
Touchdown Johnson.
And I believe the ball was tipped. We'll watch the replay here. As Hurts throws his second interception of the night, and this one is returned by Johnson. And it is starting to get very quiet here at Horizon Dome. Dicker on.
Try the point after. Good. Chicago 19, Las Vegas 14.
Offsides, defense. 5-yard penalty.
So that'll move the kickoff to the 40. So in WFL history, since the playoffs were revamped after the 2000 season, the 6th seed hasn't done really well against a 1 seed in the playoffs. The 1 seed is 16-5 all time versus a 6th seed.
Camarda to kick off. Touchback.
Chicago trying to make their first Western Conference Championship appearance since 2018. Trying to pull off back-to-back upsets. They upset Mexico City last week, 13-12, and this would be an even bigger one against the defending league champions.
First and 10 from the 25. Hurts from the pistol. Hurts barks out the signals. Busted play. Blasted by Hubbard. Loss of 4.
And things seem to be falling apart here for Vegas.
Second and 14 from the 21. Pistol formation. Hurts back to pass.
Nobody open.
Hurts is off and running. Tackled by Barmore at the 25. A gain of 4 on the play. 3rd and 10 upcoming for Las Vegas.
And Chicago is running a nickel prevent, but you're really starting to see defensive line getting penetration there, forcing Hurts to take off and run with the ball. Crucial 3rd and 10 coming up for the Outlaws.
Third and 10 from the 25. Hurts in a pistol formation. He fades back to pass. Medium hitch.
Blitz. Penalty flag.
Tackled by Johnson. A gain of 9. Penalty on the play.
Roughing the passer, defense. Number 97, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Odigzua gets called for roughing the passer. That'll give the Outlaws a first down at the Las Vegas 49. As we watch the play again, Odigzua just right up the middle, levels Hurts on the throw. A little bit of a late flag. Minute 44 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Outlaws trail by 5.
I formation. Taylor with the handoff. Johnson spins him down at the 49. No gain. Gilliam in the slot. Hurts fades back to pass. Screen to Taylor. Tackled by Brooks at the 47. 4 yards.
Less than a minute to go, 3rd and 6. Vegas needs to get to the Chicago 41 to keep this drive going.
Las Vegas breaks the huddle. 3rd and 6. Pistol formation. Hurts fades back to pass. Short slant to Gilliam.
And Vegas is going to go for it here.
Fourth and 6. Hurts from the pistol. Fades back to pass.
Being chased. Got him.
Barmore brings him down. Loss of 8.
So Vegas will turn the ball over on downs, and Chicago records their 2nd sack of the ball game. Barmore coming over from the right side gets the sack, and Chicago gets the ball back with 5 seconds left to go, 3rd quarter at the Vegas 45.
Pistol formation. Mayfield with a short drop. Short out to Smythe. Shoved out by Joseph at the 29. First down. 16 yards.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter. Chicago looking to pull off the upset here. They lead it 19-14 heading into the fourth quarter. We're going to dive in, take a quick timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the Chicago-Las Vegas Divisional Round playoffs exclusively on the Replay Sports Channel.
Some follow the road, others rewrite it. Introducing the 2025 Apex Striker GT, where innovation meets adrenaline. Powered by a twin-turbo V10 engine delivering 700 horsepower, the Apex Striker GT propels you from 0 to 60 in just 2.7 seconds. With dynamic all-wheel drive and precision-tuned handling, every twist and turn becomes an invitation. Luxury, performance, unstoppable confidence. The Apex Striker GT. Drive the extraordinary.
And the Chicago Fire just 15 minutes away from attempting to pull off probably the biggest upset in the playoffs thus far. Can they dethrone the reigning Pantheon Bowl champions? We're going to take you back out to Horizon Power Dome in Las Vegas for the fourth quarter. The Chicago Fire finishing 7-7 in the regular season, just got in as a 6th seed into the playoff tournament. Upset Mexico City last week, and now are 15 minutes away from pulling off an even bigger upset against the Las Vegas Outlaws.
First and 10 from the 29. Mayfield from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Mayfield checks down to St. Brown. Whipped down by Walker. A gain of 9.
Mayfield on the day so far, 23 of 37, 216 yards.
Second and 1 at the 20. Trips right. Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. He dumps it to Judy.
Touchdown.
Touchdown Judy.
And the Chicago Fire increase their lead. As Judy makes the touchdown.
Baker will try the point after. But it's good. Chicago 26, Las Vegas 14.
Chicago now 8-point lead over the Outlaws, as that'll be a touchback. Las Vegas will start from their own 25. 14:05 left to go in the game. Plenty of time.
First and 10 from the 25. Hurts fades back to pass. He throws underneath to camera. Jenkins on the stop. A gain of 1. There is a fight on the field. No ejections.
Personal foul. Defense. Number 94, 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So Hubbard involved in the fisticuffs there. Hubbard getting into it with Beachum there. As you can imagine, tempers are on a razor's edge here. And Coach John Harbaugh bringing Hubbard over to have a talk with him and just look at the scoreboard and think about what's going on here. Ball be placed at the Las Vegas 41, first and 10 Outlaws. Outlaws just 136 yards total offense so far tonight.
Hurts from the pistol. Takes a short drop. Short pass to Goodard. Second and 10 from the 41. Hurts from the pistol. Draw to camera. Jenkins pulls him down by the face mask. First down. A gain of 13. Flag on the play.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense. Number 33, 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
And Chicago's got to get a little bit more self-disciplined here. You cannot allow penalties like that.
Hurts from the pistol. Takes a deep drop. Screen to camera.
Hurts struggling tonight. 15 of 24, 88 yards, 2 interceptions.
Second and 10. Hurts from the pistol. Takes a short drop. Short outside pass to Myers. Johnson pulls him down. A gain of 5.
3rd and 5 coming up.
Third and 5 from the 26. Pistol formation. Hurts calls out the signals. Takes a short drop. Short outside pass to Myers.
.12:51 to go in the game. Still plenty of time. So Vegas will send out Matt Gay. Now Matt Gay coming into this game ranked 18th in the league in field goals. 29 of 40 on this season.
44-yard try for Gay. Clean snap from Kels. The snap from Kels. He made it. Chicago 26, Las Vegas 17.
So the Outlaws pull to within 9. Need a big stop from their defense now. After the touchback, ball will be placed at the Chicago 25. 12:46 to go in this one.
Penalty on the play.
False start. Offense, number 14, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Outlaws defense trying to encourage the fans here in the stadium to make noise, get loud, and that might have impacted that play there. So the false start moves Chicago back to their own 20. Be 1st and 15 coming up.
First and 15. Pistol formation. Mayfield fades back to pass. Mayfield throws downfield to Judy. Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield calling signals. Drops back to pass. Short slant.
3rd and 15 coming up. This would be really huge for Vegas to get a 3 and out here.
Chicago by 9. 3rd and 15 from the 20. Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield at the line. He fades back to pass. Short slant to Judy.
Got a flag on the play.
Taylor with the stop. A gain of 6. Mayfield is now 25 of 41 for 242 yards. Penalty on the play.
Offsides. Defense, number 50, 5-yard penalty.
All right, so they're going to take the offsides because they get another crack at 3rd down. So it'll be 3rd and 10, ball at the Chicago 25.
Third and 10. Mayfield from the pistol. High snap. Fumble.
Recovered by, oh, wow. And Vegas is back in this game. Mayfield couldn't handle the snap. Smith with the scoop, and we have another fumble recovery touchdown for Vegas.
Gay will try the point after. He made it. Chicago 26, Las Vegas 24.
So the Outlaws, with 10 unanswered points, are within 2 of the Chicago Fire.
Fox with the kick. Touchback. Mayfield calling the signals. Pitch right to Montgomery. Tackled by Vea at the 31. A gain of 6. Gibbs with the ball now. Tackled by Davis at the 31. No gain. Third and 4 at the 31. Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Medium hitch to Pickens.
And Vegas forces the 3 and out. Punting time for Chicago. Camarda back to punt to Gibson.
Camarda back in punt formation. Return of a 54-yard punt.
So after the punt, Vegas will get the ball at their own 23. 10.5 minutes to go in this one. A long way to go. But the Outlaws have cut the deficit. They only trail by 2 now.
First and 10. I formation. Hurts pitches right to camera. Pushed out by Weaver at about the 29. A gain of 6. Second and 4. I formation. Motion. Camera with the handoff. Tackled by Brooks at the 32. A gain of 3 on the play.
Now bring up 3rd and 1.
Outlaws down 2. 3rd and 1 from the 32. Man in motion. Hurts tucks it under. Hurts is tackled by Jarrett at the 34. First down. A gain of 2. First and 10. Hurts from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Screen to camera. Jenkins brings him down. Loss of 3. Second and 13 from the 31. Hurts from the pistol. Takes a quick drop. Short out. Myers is tackled by Johnson. A gain of 8.
I'll bring up 3rd and 5. Nearing the halfway point of the 4th quarter. Fire lead it by 2, 26-24.
Third and 5. Hurts from the pistol. He sets to throw. Short outside pass. KZ knocks him out around the 46. A gain of 15.
Great catch by Moore to keep the drive alive. Hurts getting better protection in the backfield there. Vegas now inside Chicago territory. Fresh set of downs.
I formation. Hurts at the line. Hurts pitches left to camera. Brought down by Jones at the 42. A gain of 4.
Kamara on the day, 10 carries, 48 yards. He also has 4 catches for 14 yards.
Hurts calling signals. Takes a quick drop. Short cross. Brought down by KZ. A gain of 6. Close to the first down marker. Here come the sticks. First down.
And if Chicago wanted to challenge it, they can't. They are out of challenges. Nearing the 5.5 minute mark.
Motion. The hand off to camera. Davis spins him down at the 31. A gain of 5. Camera controlling the ball now. Tackled by Weaver at the 26. A gain of 5. Close to a first down. They'll need to measure it. It's just short.
And Coach Todd Bowles will use the challenge flag here to challenge the mark of the ball. On the season, Bowles is 4 of 8 on replay challenges.
On further review, the runner reached the first down marker. First down. No timeout will be charged.
So the Outlaws have had the ball for almost 6.5 minutes. 4:18 left to go. Down by 2.
Las Vegas breaks the huddle. Hurts from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Hurts throws downfield to camera. Second and 10 from the 26. Hurts from the pistol. Draw to camera. Dexter brings him down at the 21. A gain of 5.
Matt Gay warming up on the sideline. Again, remember, only 29 of 40 on field goals during the regular season. They are within his range here for a go-ahead score. Vegas taking their time in the huddle. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Third and 5. 3:23 in the fourth. Hurts slow to the line. Hurts from the pistol. Man in motion. Time-consuming drive. Hurts fades back to pass. Hurts dumps it to Moore.
So the clock stops at 3:12, and on 4th and 5, they will send out Matt Gay for the go-ahead field goal.
A 39-yard attempt for Gay. This will give them the lead. Clean snap from Kels. Kels with the snap. It's good. Las Vegas 27, Chicago 26. Here's the kick from Fox. A 14-yard return.
So the Chicago Fire offense comes out on the field. 3:02 to go, 2 timeouts left. A field goal will win it. As you can see on the screen, we've superimposed where they need to get to get within Cameron Dicker's range. His longest has been from 58. He did make one earlier from 55 and from 38, but he did miss one from 55. 2 for 3 today. Mayfield will set up in the pistol formation.
Mayfield from the pistol. They're watching for Montgomery. Mayfield with 3-step drop. Short out. Knocked out by McDuffie. A gain of 10. Close to the first down marker. They'll need to measure it. They got it. Chicago down 1. Mayfield in a pistol formation. Motion. Mayfield fades back to pass. Mayfield dumps it to Pickens.
Clock will stop with 2:48. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Short sideline pass to Judy. Taylor gets the tackle. A gain of 7.
Third and 3 coming up. Chicago needs to get to the 35-yard line.
Chicago needs a big play here. 3rd and 3 from the 32. Mayfield from the pistol. Mayfield at the line. He fades back to pass. Short cross to St. Brown. Tackled by McDuffie. First down. A gain of 8.
Chicago will go no huddle here. 2.5 minutes left to go in the game.
First and 10 from the 40. Chicago hustling to the line. No huddle for Chicago. Mayfield from the pistol. Las Vegas jumped. Possible free play for Mayfield. He fades back to pass. Short into Pickens. Tackled by Koha. A gain of 6. Mayfield is now 28 of 46 for 267 yards. Penalty on the play.
Encroachment, defense. Number 95, 5-yard penalty.
So they will accept the penalty. Offsides on Myles Garrett. Ball will be placed at the Chicago 45. It'll be 1st and 5. 2:18 to go in the game. Cameron Dicker beginning to warm up on the sidelines for the Chicago Fire.
Chicago down 1. Pistol formation. Mayfield fades back to pass. Mayfield is running. Tackled by Joseph at the 49. First down. A gain of 6.
And we've reached the 2-minute warning. It'll be 1st and 10 Chicago, just inside Vegas territory. An attempt to get in field goal position to win the game and move on to the Western Conference Championship to take on St. Louis. Chicago looking to be the first 6 seed since Washington in 2020 to advance to a conference championship. Vegas looking to advance to their 3rd straight conference championship, and it would also be, coincidentally, 3rd straight year taking on the St. Louis Stars, who are watching this game at home to find out who they will play next week. Will they be at home to entertain Chicago, or will they be coming here to the Horizon Dome in Vegas? We will find out soon enough. 2 minutes. Chicago has 2 timeouts. Las Vegas has 3 timeouts. Chicago needs to get somewhere between the 35 and 30-yard line of Las Vegas for their kicker Cameron Dicker to have a chance to kick the possible game-winning field goal. Empty backfield for Mayfield.
Pistol formation. Mayfield with 3-step drop. Drop by Vea. 4-yard loss. 2nd sack today for Vea.
Big sack of the day for the big boy, Vita Vea. They'll bring up 2nd and 14. Clock still going. Chicago goes no huddle.
Chicago in a hurry up. No huddle for Chicago. Mayfield in a pistol formation. Mayfield calls the signals. He fades back to pass. Short slant. Tripped up by Smith. A gain of 5. Mayfield is now 28 of 46 for 266 yards.
Now bring up 3rd and 9. 90 seconds left to go. Noise level inside this place is getting louder and louder. Las Vegas players on the sidelines waving towels, trying to get their fans to make even more noise.
Third and 9. Chicago in a hurry up. No huddle for Chicago. Mayfield from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Short pass in the flat to Pickens.
Oh. Coho almost had intercepted that ball. In his hands, and he dropped it. Clock stops with 1:19. So here is the play of the game, folks. 4th and 9. Chicago has the ball at the Vegas 48.
Fourth and 9 from the 48. Mayfield from the pistol. Motion. Mayfield fades back to pass.
All day to throw.
Long cross.
Tipped away by McDuffie at the last moment. Turnover on downs. And that might have been the last chance for the Chicago Fire. Turnover on downs. Vegas will get the ball with 1:14. Chicago still has 2 timeouts left. As we watch that play again, Vegas only rushing 3 defensive linemen. And again, as you watch that there, McDuffie with the batting away at the last moment before Amon-Ra St. Brown can get a hold of that.
Hurts pitches left to camera. Loss of 4.
So loss on the play, but Chicago will use their second timeout. Stops the clock with 1:09. They can only stop it one more time.
Second and 14 at the 44. I formation. They send a man in motion. Busted play. Armour pulls him down at the 41. Loss of 3.
That could have been disastrous for Las Vegas. Hurts just does the right thing, falls down on the ball. And that does force Chicago to use their third and final timeout. Stops the clock with 63 seconds. It'll be 3rd and 17. And I don't expect Vegas to do anything dangerous here. Yeah, in fact, Hurts is lining him up in the victory formation here. He'll take a kneel down, and then they're just going to run out some clock.
Hurts will take a knee. Hurts will take a knee.
So Todd Bowles standing there with Ron Torbert, the referee. And they're going to run the clock down to 22 seconds, and then he'll signal timeout. Chicago has no timeouts left. Las Vegas has 2. 22 seconds left. Jack Fox comes out to punt the ball. Pickens set to return it. So Chicago will get one last chance at it.
Return of 4. Punt of 45.
17 seconds left. Chicago. Gonna need some help here.
Chicago down 1. Mayfield from the pistol. Motion left. Mayfield is back to pass. Mayfield throws to Robinson.
$11 seconds left.
Second and 10 from the 19. Mayfield from the pistol. They send a man in motion. Mayfield takes a deep drop. Mayfield throws underneath to Judy.
Uh-oh.
Tackled by
Didn't get
Joseph
out of
at the
bounds.
34. A gain of 47. Mayfield is now 29 of 50 for 313 yards.
They don't have any timeouts. It's going to try to spike the ball. Not in time. And the Las Vegas Outlaws, their quest to repeat as Pantheon Bowl champions continues as they come from behind to defeat the Chicago Fire 27-26. Your Apex Striker GT player of the game. And who does it go to? We don't have a player listed here. I think it should go to somebody on the Chicago defense. What the heck? We'll say Gary. 59-yard fumble recovery return touchdown. It was really kind of the point where Vegas came back early. They had to come back twice in this game, but we'll give it to Gary. Via, of course, 2 sacks. We can also have him for honorable mention. What a game, and Vegas will stay here next Sunday to play the St. Louis Stars. So taking a look at the schedule for next week, the early game next Sunday. From Tampa, it'll be the London Knights taking on the Tampa Bay Bandits for the Eastern Conference Championship, and it'll be the St. Louis Stars taking on these Las Vegas Outlaws. So what a game, what a finish here from the Horizon Dome. This has been Glenn Walker. Thanking you for watching us here on the Replay Sports channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter. Conference Championship Sunday coming up at our next broadcast. Can't wait to see you there. Have a great night.